Swiggity sorty, let's get that booty.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. It is I, Slim Cognito, and it's been a pretty good week. We've been very productive. A lot's been going on. Things are looking up and starting to get a lot brighter. To kick things off, first of all, we got caught up on a lot of shows and whatnot, and we're going to tear into some anime this week as well. That being said, we have a backlog and still waiting on recommendations because I haven't heard a lot of buzzing about any new anime this current season. And since JoJo is a-coming, I'm gonna have to watch some in between now and then, because once that's here, that's it. But anyway, aside from that, what I've been playing this week, I wanted to talk about the most because, of course, we're still doing the month of Metroid over on the Twitch channel. Go ahead and check it out because it's been live. It's been amazing. It's been fun. It's been just an all-around good time. Like, this week alone, we finished Metroid Samus Returns, and then we immediately went to another Metroid 2 remake, the fan-made game that was a remake of Metroid 2. And this one's more sprite-based rather than 3D models, and it was astounding, okay? I'm not here to compare it to the Nintendo Official by Mercury Steam, but I am going to say that they both achieved what they set out to do in two different directions. So instead of saying what we missed out on or what was, better than the other, I'd rather look at it as we were blessed with two amazing versions. Because if you really think about it, Nintendo Official had to go somewhat 2.5D with the character models and everything, because to capture a new audience into Samus, it wouldn't be too smart to go sprites. And sprites is the perfect thing for someone who is working from an indie standpoint with very little budget and like 8 years of development time. Like, that makes sense. So shout out to the indie developers that did AM2R. That was an amazing Metroid game, and it has the quality to be a Nintendo title from that era. And I would have loved to play it back then. And the amount of like little bit of lore that's in there as well is astounding. I urge anybody who loves Metroid, I heavily urge you to play this game. It's so good, it's amazing. Anywho, we moved on from there, and of course, the next Metroid after that was Super Metroid, aka Metroid 3, aka the GOAT, and one of the best and one of my favorite games of all time that is still referenced to this day for game design, map design, and game progression. And we had a blast. It was a great time. I even fucked up and killed the animals by mistake, so we had to like reload the game and kill Mother Brain again to save the animals. And it was some fun throughout the entire playthrough, so I highly suggest y'all go check that out. It was actually good. I'm trying to get into the groove of uploading these VODs and editing them to put them on YouTube, but god damn, the workload. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get it. But yeah, so there you have it. I mean, that's what we've been playing this entire week. Mostly in my off time, I haven't really been playing anything else because I would unwind with some multiplayer game or something. I haven't touched Control again for obvious reasons that we've spoken several times. But yeah, shit's been dope, and I'm excited to get back at it. So the next Metroid that we're gonna be playing will be Metroid Fusion, and then after Fusion, I think I've gotten the emulation for Metroid Other M to work properly. So if you want to see that, that's going to be the bonus stream. We're going to throw that in there. And I think after Other M, we won't go into the Prime series. A friend of mine is streaming Metroid Prime Trilogy. Right now, he's gotten to Prime 3. If you want to check that out, he's over on Twitch. Goes by the name of Proclanator. I'll just spell it out for you, so to make sure that you guys can find him. His name goes Procynlotor. So go ahead and find that on Twitch, and you just might find you some Metroid Prime 3 Corruption gameplay. And get some of his honest opinions, because he's very stark with the way he views certain games. He's very honest about it, and there's a lot of things about Metroid Prime that did not age well already. And it's funny to say that about a game that was well into the 3D era of game design, but some of those things it could use a lot of quality of life, like updates, you know. And some of those things have been addressed in the Wii version update of the trilogy, but still, it's Metroid Prime. Now, after we get done with other I'm thinking, instead of Prime, and I've been workshopping this because I've been having a lot of people recommend me some Metroidvanias, and I want to play some different Metroidvanias that are the more recent ones that are good, and I heard there's a lot of good ones. I haven't touched so many of them. I've beaten many Castlevania games, many Metroid games, but there's many that have inspired other indie games and other, you know, AA games that I want to touch. Especially after playing Hollow Knight, I feel that I owe it to the gaming community to play some of these newer Metroidvanias and not be, you know, we don't want to be just boomer and say only the old shit was the good shit. So yeah, it'd be better if we were to broaden our horizons, because the world ends with us. Anyway, now let's get into the news, and we're gonna kick this off right. And I hope I don't sound like I just woke up. All right, my voice was a little hoarse from yesterday. I've been doing some yelling, but surprisingly it was good for me, because boy, my nostrils clear. But anyway, let's jump off into the news. First thing on the docket, y'all. Over on NintendoLife.com, court orders popular ROM website to destroy all of its unauthorized Nintendo games. Don't mess with Mario. So Nintendo won a court case lawsuit against the owner of a website called ROM Universe, and we spoke about this before, I think a few weeks back. And ROM Universe not only lost the lawsuit, but also is being instructed by the Judge Marshall, ordered them to destroy all of its unauthorized Nintendo games by next week. And the 2.1 million judgment still stands. So yeah, and I don't feel like really tearing all of this apart, but we just gonna say one thing's obvious: Judge Marshall doesn't really know anything about data or the internet. And also, is this really anything to be worried about? Data is copied and transferred every single second, every millisecond of every day, and you can't completely scrub the internet of anything. There's always gonna be a copy somewhere, somehow. So hey, it is what it is. But rip in peace to ROM Universe. I mean, and if they didn't go beyond the N64 library, then it's just a few gigabytes to delete, which he should have done preemptively in order to avoid the lawsuit altogether. But the idiot, now he's, you know, saying, trying to be this big badass. He think he just got Billy Big Balls, and he decides to just keep the games up and go to court and show up and follow through and all of that. It's like, dude, just delete them few gigabytes. That shit's everywhere else. You can find that shit anywhere else, bro. Just lay low. Chill. But whatever. If it gives him purpose, it gives him purpose, I guess. Who knows what the reason is. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much sums that up. And there's nothing else to say on that. But next on the docket is something way more interesting. Phil Spencer himself tweeted on Twitter that he's been using the Steam Deck for about a week, and it's a really nice device. Quote, games with me on the go, screen size, controls all great, playing Halo and Age feels good. xCloud works well, congrats Steam development team. So apparently the Steam Deck is a powerhouse, and it's the Switch that we all deserved long ago. And I can't wait. I kind of want to get my hands on one of these. It's amazing how good this thing is being told to be. And for emulation, that's going to just blow everybody out of the water. I'm ready. I am super ready. It's the perfect device for somebody like me. And I was actually like debating getting a Vita, you know what I mean, just to put some emulation stuff on it. But this negates that whole necessity. I don't even need to do that. You know what I mean? This is a much better piece of hardware, and Although we can't get it now, I'm glad it exists so I can get one down the line. So yeah, and that's great. You had some of the best names replying and shaking and talking about it, so it's got the Phil Spencer approval. And I wonder if that means that it's going to transition itself into being the unofficial handheld for Microsoft, the one team that never had a handheld to begin with. So yeah, if you if you told me 10 years ago Microsoft would have a handheld for their games, while Nintendo and Sony doesn't, well, I'd have called you dumb. But these are the times. Anyway, over on Games Radar, next on the docket, Battlefield 2042 players caught breaking tech test NDA may face permanent game ban, EA warns. Don't want to share your account information, that's going to end badly for you, super badly. And basically addressing those who would say let someone else play on their account or record video footage and post it online or screenshots and everything, or streaming it live, and it will result to channel strikes and a permanent ban from the full game when it releases. So I don't know how else to put this, but there are people dedicated to leaking information, and if they are, I'm sure they have the skills to properly spoof their personal information. But I don't know if that's going to be completely possible, depending on the prerequisites in order to get into the tech test, you know, event itself. So most likely you'll have to insert some form of personal information. But let's just hope that no one like is dumb enough to leak some shit and then turn around and get mad and then want to rally up everybody on Twitter talking about they deleted my shit, because we know that's what people do and try to play victim, and we don't want to see that. So let's just hope that nobody does some dumb shit like that. They've warned everybody very fairly, and NDAs are real. No matter if I've worked on TV shows, it's the same thing with movie sets, etc., whatever. If you're at any part of production and the information in that production is key to be kept under wraps, then you cannot speak. Imagine if the people who were working on the Marvel movies were to break NDA. Imagine if they told us that Thanos snapped half of the population away and the hero disappeared before the movie came out. It would have ruined the entire fucking movie. That's why spoilers are a real thing, and that's why the culture is a real thing. You don't question it, you respect it. It's plain and simple. Anyway, next on the docket at PCGamesN.com, Half-Life 2 community rallies to break its peak player count for reasons. So yeah, Half-Life 2 was a game that was the release game with Steam, and that was before Steam had these analytics and you know, open publicly available data of usage, playtime, and etc. So there was never any real record of the player count and player hours of Half-Life 2 during the peak of its release and its popularity. So the community this particular community decided to get together and pump those numbers up, and they did so amazingly. And now it's sitting at around almost 13,000 players at the peak. No, it succeeded the 12,953 players from 10 years ago, and the new record stands at a much more respectable 16,101. So there you have it, and it's a wholesome story, and I like to see people come together to do things like that. So yeah, congratulations, 16,101 Freemans. And you love to see it, and I hope this means good things and positive things for the future of Half-Life. WB Games explains why zombies sound racist in Back 4 Blood over on GameSpot.com. And if you remember last week, we spoke about this in the Back 4 Blood beta that everybody was getting hype about. There was a viral clip on Twitter from two people in specific that I mentioned last week, where they thought they heard the word nigga come out one of the zombies' mouths. Oh, excuse me, the what is the official name of these zombies in this game? because they come up with some shit like all the time. It's infected or the downtrodden, the ridden. Okay, yeah, the ridden. All right, so yeah, these ridden, aka zombies, would say the voice line and it would sound like the N-word. And y'all know as well as I do that that's not the intention of the developers. We know that, all right? It's just a snafu that happened to happen, all right? We know better than that. Ain't no way that production, sound recording in an official sound booth for all these voice lines and then edit together all this audio and that just make it out for the cutting room floor. Like, y'all know that ain't possible. Like, y'all should know better, all right? But it was funny to laugh at while it was viral. Anyway, yeah, so they basically, just to sum it up, it's not much to say here, just that they're going to edit it and make sure that they remove that sound from the game and it won't be a problem any longer, and they apologize for any misunderstandings. Anyway, next, over on PCGamer.com, Apex Legends lead game designer fired for remarks made in 2007. Quote, "I'm just very depressed because it feels I'll never be able to make up for who I was." Daniel Z. Klein. He's suffering from something that I feel is incredibly unreasonable. Like, I've seen people make complete 180s. I have met people that have been examples as to how people can change for the better. I've met people who were taught to be prejudiced or taught to be full-on racist because they never really had to be around a certain group of people, even within my own community and race, you know what I mean? And as you grow and you get to broaden your horizons and meet other people, your opinions change. And one of the things about having the internet is that it archives the person who they were. And since a lot of us be on the internet from adolescence to teenage years, people gonna say some problematic shit, whether it's a joke, whether it's a serious remark, whether it's a belief that you had when you was 14. It don't matter. It's gonna be some problematic shit come out of somebody's mouth or off of somebody's keyboard eventually. All right, that's just plain and simple truth. Every single person is guilty of this. If anybody would dare point a finger to cancel someone just because of something they said back in the day, like, if it ain't something that's incredibly problematic like stuff that Shane Dawson said, then let it go. All right, like, we need to really let this shit go, because it's a difference between if that's who that person is and they haven't made amends, they just keep going and they still do that type of shit. It's a difference between that and it's your old past and you don't do that anymore, so let it go. If he still thought and spoke this way, then I would understand, yeah, Daniel Klein, that's kind of a problem. You probably deserve to get fired. But this is something he said in 2007 where they were accusing him of possible sexual assault over the line, "You should never say stuff like that without evidence," etc. And 2 weeks later, Klein has announced his departure from Respawn in a series of tweets. Said he wanted to be very open here, said that "I'm heartbroken and depressed, etc. It's been a very dark few weeks." And as a lead developer that's done this well for the game all this time, give a fuck what y'all think or say, he's been doing a great job with Apex Legends thus far. Because the main thing with Apex is you're not balancing the game itself, you're balancing the people who play it. And you have to appeal to not just your pro players and your streamers. Alright? Because the most foolish thing ever is that they would tweak the game for the preference of like 20 something people or 40 something people. It's not it at all. So it's not an easy job to have, being at the mercy of some Twitch streamer that gets to sit behind his computer and play the game all day. And if they stop playing the game, people would think that the game is dead, because, you know, everybody's ready to say a game is dead. So it ain't an easy job to have, and it costs a lot of sanity. And I hope that he finds better work. You know, I don't wish anything bad on him, and I'm pretty sure even if this was still who he is, then this will be a learning lesson, and hopefully it does change him for the better. But 2007, that's a reach to me. That's a bit far back. you know. So anyway, next on the docket, Eurogamer.net. You can tell I'm tired of this shit. This cancel culture shit is going crazy because some of it's justified, but not all of it. Eurogamer.net. An Amiga 500 Mini is on the way. Now, the Amiga A500 Mini is going to be available. Price listings for about $139.99 US, and it will include 25 games confirmed, a list of 12 so far, which is Alien Breed 3D, Another World, ATR All-Terrain Racing, Battle Chess, Cadaver, Kickoff 2, Pinball Dreams, Simon the Sorcerer, Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe, The Chaos Engine, Worms, The Director's Cut, Zool, Ninja of the Nth Dimension. Now, they said it has the usual features you'd expect from any console at this point: save and resume functionality, 50Hz and 60Hz screen refresh options, a CRT filter, and various scaling options. This kind of bothers me a little bit about the CRT filter because filters oftentimes don't hit the mark correctly. So I can't wait to see what it will look like with the filter active. But I gotta say, I can't hold my hopes high, but I can, you know, at least be optimistic and say it might be a good CRT filter. But most CRT filters just emulate the, how do you say, the disposition of the image, but not the actual effect of the CRT visuals. And there's a lot more detail into that I can't really find the words to say, nor confidently say I have the know-how to speak on right now. But there's an actual science to it, and most emulators and emulation methods fail to deliver on the actual CRT experience. But let's just hope for the best, I guess. Anywho, as with the C64 Mini, Commodore 64, Retro Games is working with Koch Media to distribute the system, which is due out early in 2022. And for those who are classic hardware heads that would like to have one of these, which will be a piece of history to hold on to, then that would be dope. This is a nice little restructure of the Commodore's personal computer, and it even like favors the original A500 chipset, the AGA Advanced Graphics Architecture of later Amiga model A1200, according to the art. So hey, I find that pretty neat and it's dope. It's one of the forms, it's the only one of the forms of classic game preservation that we have right now, but it could be better because most of the times the libraries are very small and limited, and that's when you call for some type of modding to happen, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, that's everything for this week on the docket, y'all. Just be sure to check out the rest of the streams over on the Twitch. We got more Metroid coming this whole week and the rest of the month of August. When September hits, we're just gonna hit the ground running. We're just gonna play some random things off the backlog and some recommendations that you all give me, and gearing up to October, because we gonna be enjoying, as they say, this spooky month. Do the little dance, and y'all take care. Alright, and always remember the channel motto: intentions are the most important, actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. Peace. I'm not good at getting this death, but I'm gonna try it, y'all, okay? I'm very terrible at it, like I'm not even joking. Shit. I told you I was terrible at this. Got it. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I fucking did it. Also, rip in peace. Just because of the babies, you get some sympathy. But if you didn't have children, we wouldn't care. Y'all, this is one of the things that used to kill my speed run back in the days. I couldn't do it consistently on the first try.